Make it a little bit easier to make this work. Should make the sound a little better. That's right. There we go. That sounds pretty good. Hey, Ganesh. Mark Zuckerberg. Everyone always says that. Oh, really? Okay. My digital piano, my MIDI piano is dying, so we'll just switch to the keyboard one. Hey, Christopher Hooper. Oh, thank you. I'm from India. I'm from the United States. Do I know any One Piece songs? Sure. How old am I? 30s, mid-30s. Pianist, how cool? Boogie Woogie? We can do some Boogie Woogie. Of course. Can you play an old song? I can play whatever. One Piece song? We could try something. Britons. Hi, Bruce Wayne. Oh, you're Batman. Oh, sorry, I gave it away. Okay, so you guys want, hold on, I can do some of these. dog? Yep. I've been doing way too much travel. The one by Brooke. Bink Sake. Everybody loves this Bink Sake song. Bink Sake. And then you guys are asking for Rushy. Of course you are. Everybody loves Rushy. I don't know why. Golden Hour? Nasian number 1? Yeah, we can do it. Can I unmirror the camera? No, not on this. Sorry. Too bad. It's my way of making sure no one steals all my secrets. How's the traveling been? Yeah, it's been a mixture. I was in South Carolina, then Georgia, and then Florida. And one was a music tour, played 2 shows, played for like 2,000 people outside. That was great. And then the other 2 were business trips for my small business that I run. Medieval Memories, Nacien, Louis Capaldi, please. Oh, somebody, yeah. Somebody to love or whatever. We can do some of this. Oh, thank you. Night Coffee by V Studio. Good thing about it, Nacien. All right, hold on. We'll pull up some of these. Nacien. We'll grab that. Night Coffee. Night Coffee theme. Night's Dark Terror? I have no idea which song you're referring to. Hey, Chopin enthusiast, it's your song. Night Coffee. Is there a place that would be? Is that like on MuseScore or something? Play it that good? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just was messing around with it. Canon and D, yeah, we can do it. I need to come up with alternative versions for these things. I'm thinking about coming up with my own ways of playing like all the meme songs. We got Nasian here. The Nasian enjoyers. What song is this? This is Nasian. Vivaldi? We could do some Vivaldi. How long have I been playing piano? A very long time. Over 25 years. Chopin A minor waltz. I've got like 5,600, I think. Giant steps is a waltz. We could try it. That sounds fun. So it. Okay, let's try it. That's kind of fun. I don't think I've ever done that before. Okay, so someone was asking about waltz, and then I saw waltz in C sharp minor. Let's pull that up. Waltz in C sharp minor. Let's get that sucker pulled up, and then let's talk about what a waltz is. So for the most part, what people did for a very long time with music is they would categorize their song and name their song based on a style. And so what it really is all about what style it is. So a waltz is a very specific dance. And that very specific dance has to be in 3/4 to answer your question, Chopin enthusiast. And I would say you have to do it in 3/4. And also beat 1 is very important. Now, again, here's the thing. We live in the modern era, meaning you can do whatever you want. So if you want to write a waltz in 6/4, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue, though, is you kind of need some reason to do something like that because you're effectively breaking what makes a waltz. And you can do kind of some postmodern-y philosophical reason why, but you are breaking what makes it a waltz. So I would say the big important things about a waltz is 3/4, dance, beat 1 is the main emphasis. That's really, really the deal there. So, all right, here we go. Here's a waltz by Chopin. And then the best part. So speaking of things that you don't necessarily have to do, you could totally, yeah, it's a great waltz. You can totally not necessarily have the waltz accompaniment, right? So this bum 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 bum. There's other ways of playing a waltz that you don't necessarily need that type of accompaniment, but that type of accompaniment really, really pushes it. Free firm music, please. I don't even know what that is. Middle major part? Okay, all right. I'll do the middle major part just for you, Bruce Wayne. I love this part too. try to play, oh, okay, so if we're gonna do this, no, it's not that difficult. So if we're gonna, man, it loses all the charm. I always try to do a chord progression that completely throws my creativity away. For this one, would you say? All right, I want to answer these questions, and then let's do some Interstellar after that. So, all right, let's talk through how this is constructed, and talk through how you would best practices to make something like this. So, first of all, let's start with the harmony, although I would say most likely the harmony may became later and the melody came first. So we got C sharp minor, and then immediately we got a very telling chord. I'll actually explain why I think the harmony came later, but let's talk about this. So we have C sharp minor going straight to D sharp 7, or for those that don't like a bunch of weird accidentals, E flat 7, right? And that leads right to a G sharp major chord, or again, if you like flats, you could say A flat 7 chord or G sharp 7 chord, however you want it to be. And that, of course, is the 5 chord leading back to the 1, right? So that's the basics. Nice 4-measure loop. If you wrote this in just those harmonies, you would basically make it very, very... You'd have a very basic waltz, but it wouldn't have the charm of this, for sure. Oh, sorry. Do you know what this is, actually? It's got the Addams Family, right? Have I annotated the sheet music? You're reading from, or are you reading it raw? I think I know what you're asking. No, I'm not writing down any notes, and this is completely unprompted. I have played this piece quite a few times and taught it quite a few times, but we could do this on a waltz that I've never heard before, and I will do it right away. Yeah, Prince Rohit, you are just spamming and saying the same thing over and over again. I have no idea what you're saying. Is that a song that you wanted me to play? It makes no sense what you're saying. Okay, so you got these basic harmonies. It's a super common chord progression. Like literally the only thing that would make this more basic is if the second chord was a D sharp half diminished 7th chord, which would fit in the key, right? Right? Oh, it's all good, Prince Rohit. It's just, again, I'm can't necessarily listen to everybody. Yeah, we could do a little bit Freebird a second. So, to answer Chopin enthusiast question, how would you write this? You want to come up with something striking. So listen to just the melody for a second. Ya-dee-dum, ya-da-da-da-dee, da, ya-da-da-dum. That's really nice all by itself. And then you add in the harmony and it works even better, right? So instead, what could you do that would be like that isn't this? So you'd have your own piece. We'll stay in the same key, we'll maybe even use the same chords, but again, we'll start with the melody. So the first thing that's really evocative of this is that 6th, right? And then we go down, right? That half step move is so nice. So what if we do a big interval? Something like that. Something like that. Play Rushy said hi, American Idiot. Cool. Love your short shorts. Oh, thank you. You got to do short shorts. Thanks, Chirag. That running feels nice when you actually have on shorts. I'll do Interstellar next. Roundabout. What does my setup cost? It's an interesting question. I mean, this keyboard's like 1,700 back 10 years ago, so I would be scared to see how much it is now because stuff's gotten more expensive. Not all of it, but some of it. If you're talking about my whole home studio, that's more like probably 10K. You think it's too expensive? It just depends on whether you're doing this full time and if this is your business. If it's your business, then you just need to have the tools. 1.7K, yeah, 1,700. This is a really nice digital piano. You do not need to spend 1,700. You don't need to spend. So here's the deal. Because of MIDI, if you don't care about how something feels, you can spend $80 and then have a used laptop that somebody gives you, and then you probably should spend a little bit on sounds. What's nice about it, it's probably hard to see from here, but the keys are actually wood. They're wood composite, and then the tops of the keys are ivorite, and so basically you have that feeling of a key very, very well, and the action feels very, very good. The better it feels, the easier it is on how to play, for sure. So definitely makes a huge difference. Have I learned Chopin Etude Opus 10 number 4? I can never remember which ones are which in the... No, I never learned this one. We can mess around with though. What do you mean easier play? Yeah, I know Golden Hour. You want Pirates of the Caribbean? I already played Golden Hour. Let's see. Yeah, no. Yeah, if you're a beginner, I would stay away from all the Chopin etudes. It's just not gonna do you. It's not gonna be the best bang for your buck. Yamaha P40, and then someone else mentioned the P135. I'm trying to think of which one is which. Yeah, so the P40 is like the $450 one. This one is good if you really just want something cheap to just bang around and mess around with. I would personally think if you're serious at all and you have the budget, you should just pop up to the next price range. I cannot remember which one it is. Maybe it is the 135. That sounds about right. No, the 1 or 45, those are all the same ones. Oh, the 125, okay. Or the 115 or the 135. Yeah, those are all the same ones, yeah. So that $700 price range from Yamaha and the other ones, I think the FP30 from Roland is in that same price point. That's really that first professional price point that I would throw it in. They tend to sound much better. They sound much better. So that's what I would say. Can I play by ear? Yeah. Yep. I do a lot of stuff by ear. Yeah, we can do Pirates of the Caribbean for sure. Yeah, the FP30 is really nice. SP 5500. What is that one? Oh, Tommins? Yeah. Yeah, you can totally learn on that. You probably at some point want to upgrade because that looks like something that's not going to feel the best, especially if you're trying to play more classical songs on that. But again, I am a totally privileged American living in the United States where it's very easy. Yeah, 700 and above in the United States for sure. I think makes a whole lot of sense as a price point. If you're gonna, okay, here's the way I'd put it. If you're not sure and you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of money, definitely just get the cheapest one and just start learning. That's totally fine. But if you are like, hey, piano's my thing, I definitely want to do it. Okay, the UK, I'm sure it's definitely reasonable-ish. I don't know if it's as cheap as the United States, but I'm sure you'll be able to get something over there. Yeah, the Yamaha, I would say it's well worth it. If you're serious enough that you're saving up, even though it's almost double, it's better to get that $700-ish price point for sure. Yeah, Chopin enthusiasts, yeah, those, because they don't even really have as much touch sensitivity, and so that makes it very hard to learn classical music. What do you think about Emilio Piano? I don't know if I'm even familiar. Emilio Piano. Does she play piano? Oh, is she just I have no idea who this is. Apparently he's got a lot of followers. Oh, okay. He's this guy doing the things. I mean, it's obvious that he knows how to work the algorithm. That's a very important skill. Let's do some pirates. You wanted pirates. How much did your setup cost? You answer. Well, I wouldn't be asking how much my setup cost. I would be asking yourself, what do you really need? So we were just talking about keyboards and what was important there, but are you producing? Do you need sounds? Do you need good speakers so that you can hear, so you can mix and master well? Do you need a actual mixing board? Are you doing live tracking? Like, all this stuff really matters. Thousand years, sure. Oh, thank you. You too, DYDX. We can do 1,000 years from India. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's very smart AMV. You're going to have ones that peak out to you versus not. And then just be very realistic with what you're actually trying to accomplish. I own like 10 or 12 keyboards, and the reason why is it's so much more economical to buy keyboards specifically to the goal that you want to accomplish. Because typically keyboards are very good at one thing, and then everything else they suck at. Like, that's just the honest truth. So that's kind of how I would approach it for sure. There's a Steinway store near the library I often go to, but I'm scared to enter because I will never appreciate my own piano after that. No. You will. You need to go. You need to go and play the Steinways. It is a life-changing experience. It makes such a big difference in how you think about it. You'll learn stuff from that and be able to pull it back. Chicken jockey, there you go. Chicken jockey! Someone should make the ultimate keyboard then. It's really hard, and it's because there's trade-offs. There's totally trade-offs. Like, even organ versus piano is gonna be a trade-off. An organ feels best with no weighted keys, and a piano feels best with weighted keys. So there you go, there's a trade-off right there. If you want 1,000 sounds, you need ways to get to that 1,000 sounds, but then it's complicated to get around. I will say, Bruce Wayne, I have thought at some point that I would love to potentially partner with somebody who understands the mechanics of making a keyboard. And there's certain ideas that I personally want to have in a keyboard. Like, I want smaller controllers that feel as good as a big controller. So this is an 88 key keyboard. I want a 49 key keyboard that feels this good, but nobody does that. Do I have my degree in music? I do. Kiss and Rain. You're asking. Okay. Let's just talk a little bit about economics just for a second, because the reason why things cost the way they do for pianos, and this is probably more than you wanted to get into, Chopin enthusiast. You've got really two factors. You have the actual cost of how much it takes to make the product. So in the case of a piano, it is an enormous amount of effort. Think about how many hundreds of thousands of man hours go into making one piano. It's mind-boggling. Like the other day, to put it in terms that actually are more approachable, because there's a lot that goes into a piano you don't even look at. Like a few years ago, I remember walking into a furniture store, and there's a table there that's an Amish built table. So for people not in the United States, the Amish are a group of people that kind of decided, we don't want to go super technologically forward. We're not going to get cell phones. We're not going to do all that. We're just going to stay in our little tight-knit communities. We're going to grow our own food, all that stuff. But they build, furniture still by hand to this very day. So this table is literally handcrafted. Someone spent the time to shave it down, to put the pieces together, all that type of old school manufacturing to make the table. You look at this table and you're like, this took someone forever to make, and it's like $3,000. Now, could you get a table for like $50, or let's be honest, free from secondhand, or like, $10 from a secondhand store? Yes. But that table is going to basically be just a piece of wood that some, factory just flopped down, leg bolted on. There was somebody sitting there with an automatic gun going, brr, 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 legs on, boom. That table that, is upstairs that my kids eat off of, that table probably took, 5 minutes to make, like from start to finish, because of how crazy factories are. Whereas that Amish table, that probably took like days of effort to make. And so when you think about something like a piano, it's really expensive because a lot of human time went into it, and that has value. And then you start to get into branding and the power of branding and just how much wealth there is in the world. And so if you're trying to make a luxury brand, you have to market to the top. And people actually inherently think of pricing as a sign of prestige and power. So if you're trying to make a luxury product that's also really expensive to make because it requires a lot of man hours, then you got to do that. Yeah, even an upright is a work of art, in my opinion. It's a little sad that so many of those uprights are just kind of whatever. Albanian song? We can do an Albanian song. I've got Kiss the Rain pulled up. We'll do that in a second. What Albanian song do you want? Just throw an Albanian song out there. see. I'm back. I think success. Oh, good. And I think they don't really care. Yeah, that's the secret of weddings. That's really what happens with all weddings. What song is that? Is this comfortable for everyday use? Ish. I made this. It's not really easy. Don't spend $1 billion on a keyboard desk. Like, really don't. Learn how to mount things to walls, and then just mount a board. This is just a like $10 particle board, and then some brackets. This desk is maybe 20 bucks. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's a gazillion dollars. Yeah, I mean, sorry if you already have one, but I would definitely say instead of spending $1 bajillion, I would say you want Over and Over by Frank Sinatra. We'll do that, and then I'll probably play some of my stuff, and then we'll be out of here because the life keeps on calling out what we got to do. The world we knew. Let's look up a lead sheet. We don't need this whole. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. All right, let's fly to the end of this book. The world we knew. I don't think I've ever played this before. Why not? Like Zuckerberg? Okay, sure. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that is World We Knew. I don't think I've ever played that song before. Over and Over. Frank Sinatra. Side view, not the front view? Yeah, it's just probably, I don't know, some heritage, probably somewhere. Now you want to play piano too? Yes, you should play piano too. How often do you write music and what's your opinion on it? Are you proud of it? I go through phases. I would say if I averaged it out, I would say very rarely does a week go by that I don't write music. But I need to write more music lately. It's just a busyness thing. Like right now I'm really pretty pushing on growing my small business and raising my kids. They're all quite young. So that leaves less time to write music, but I kind of still need to do it just to keep sane. And what's my opinion of it? I generally have, I've listened to a lot of Frank Sinatra, but there's a lot of Frank Sinatra. Am I proud of the music that I write? Yes, I'm generally quite proud of the music that I write. I feel quite good about most of the music that I write. Not at first necessarily. When I'm writing the music, I'm kind of generally a little bit more down on it. But then as I get more into it, I'm like, ooh, this is nice. Actually, I'll give you something kind of weird that I was doing recently. You guys can tell me if you like it. You guys know the song Hallelujah? I was coming up with my own chord version of it. That's kind of crazy. What's my favorite song on earth? That's a very challenging question to ask. Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. Minor fall and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. That's my extremely crazy chord version of it. Here's one more time, one more verse of it. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. This is the 1 a.m. version. Yes, you're right. You're totally right. Yes, I compose quite a bit of music. I've got tons of classical piano songs. I've arranged a lot for band and for other things. I have a lot of original songs that I sing. I want to get back into that. Improvisation on Canon D. Yeah, we'll probably actually cut out today, but tomorrow we should be able to live stream. Thursday we should be able to live stream. We should be basically back to every day. We're still probably another 2 months out between having an actual schedule because my life is still insanely hectic. I go on like a 14-day tour in like 2 weeks. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. But yes. So anyway, thanks everybody so much. I will see you guys later. Enjoy. Did I compose Requiem? I don't even know what that means. Everything I do it for you. For you. I will see you guys later. Take it easy. Thanks so much. All right, bye.